Toxic people don't fear your anger. They don't fear your arguments. They fear your silence. They fear the moment you stop feeding their chaos and become completely unmovable. And when you master these 7 silent behaviors, you become someone they can no longer control, someone they instinctively avoid. Here's the truth most people miss. Engaging with toxic individuals gives them power. Every reaction, every defense, every emotional outburst is fuel for their fire. Epictetus taught us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you keep reacting, explaining yourself, seeking their approval, you remain trapped in their game. Your energy depletes, your confidence wavers, you become exactly what they want, predictable and controllable. I spent years fighting back against a manipulative family member, thinking confrontation would win. It never did. Then, I discovered something radical. The Stoics didn't defeat their enemies by fighting harder. They defeated them by becoming unreachable. I applied these 7 behaviors, and within weeks, the dynamic shifted completely. The attacks stopped. The manipulation ceased. Not because they changed, but because I became someone they couldn't touch. Let me show you how. Silent behavior number 1. You stop reacting to provocation. Here's what toxic people don't expect: your complete indifference. They're masters at pushing buttons, crafting insults designed to trigger you. But when you stop reacting, their entire strategy collapses. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about recognizing that their provocation is a test, a probe to find your weak spots. When you react, you reveal where you're vulnerable. When you remain calm, you become a mystery they can't solve. I remember a former boss who would publicly criticize my work, waiting for me to defend myself or show frustration. For months, I took the bait, explaining, justifying, proving my worth. It never worked. Then I tried something different. The next time he criticized me in a meeting, I simply nodded and said, "I'll consider that." No defense, no emotion, just acknowledgement. The shift was immediate. He repeated the criticism, expecting a reaction. Nothing. Within weeks, he stopped targeting me entirely. Why? Because I'd removed the reward he was seeking, my emotional response. Here's your practice. When someone tries to provoke you this week, pause for 3 seconds. Breathe. Then respond with complete neutrality. "Okay, I see," or "Thanks for sharing." Watch how quickly they lose interest when you stop playing their game. Toxic people need your reaction like fire needs oxygen. Starve them of it, and they'll move on to easier targets. Silent behavior number 2. You maintain calm, steady eye contact. Most people think avoiding eye contact shows weakness, but here's the paradox. Toxic people also fear direct, unwavering eye contact. Not the aggressive stare down, but the calm, measured gaze that says, "I see exactly who you are, and I'm not intimidated." Seneca observed, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Your steady gaze is that polished gem. It reflects their manipulation back at them. Toxic individuals thrive on making you uncomfortable, forcing you to look away, to shrink. When you maintain calm eye contact, you're communicating something powerful. You're grounded, present, and unshakable. You're not challenging them aggressively. You're simply refusing to be diminished. I learned this during a confrontation with a colleague who was spreading rumors about me. When we finally spoke, she launched into accusations, expecting me to break eye contact, to fidget, to show guilt or fear. Instead, I kept my gaze steady and soft, not hard or angry, just present. I let her finish without interrupting. The silence that followed was profound. She couldn't maintain it. She looked away first, stumbled over her words, and eventually apologized. Here's your practice. This week, when someone speaks to you, especially someone who typically intimidates you, hold their gaze calmly. Don't stare them down, simply be present. Blink naturally. Breathe. Let your eyes communicate quiet confidence. You'll notice something remarkable. People who try to dominate you will suddenly become uncomfortable. Your unshakable presence becomes a mirror they can't face. Silent behavior number 3, you become emotionally unavailable. This might sound harsh, but it's liberating. You don't owe toxic people access to your inner world. Emotional unavailability isn't coldness, it's strategic withdrawal. Epictetus taught, if you don't wish to be a hot-tempered person, don't feed the habit. Give it nothing to help its increase. When you become emotionally unavailable to manipulators, you're not being cruel, you're being wise. Toxic people are emotional vampires. They probe for your fears, insecurities, dreams, not to support you, but to weaponize that information later. When you stop sharing your struggles, your victories, your vulnerabilities with them, they lose their ammunition. You become unpredictable, unreachable. They can't push buttons they don't know exist. I had a friend who would ask deep, personal questions about my relationships, my struggles, my doubts. I thought she cared. Then I noticed a pattern. Every vulnerability I shared would somehow appear in group conversations, twisted into jokes or subtle criticisms. So I stopped. When she asked personal questions, I gave pleasant but vague answers. Things are fine, nothing new, just staying busy. She persisted for weeks, frustrated by my walls. Eventually, she moved on to someone else who still gave her that emotional access. Here's your practice. Identify one person who consistently uses your emotions against you. This week, keep conversations surface level with them. Share facts, not feelings. Be pleasant, but impenetrable. Notice how their behavior changes when they realize you're no longer an open book. Your inner world is sacred, guard it fiercely. Silent behavior. Number 4, you set boundaries without defending them. Here's where most people lose. They set boundaries, then spend an hour justifying them. Toxic people exploit this. They don't actually want to understand your boundaries. They want you to doubt them. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your boundary doesn't need their approval to be valid. When you defend a boundary, you're unconsciously asking for permission. I can't meet you because I'm tired and need rest and I've had a really long week, and stop. The moment you justify, you invite negotiation. Toxic people are skilled negotiators. They'll dismantle every reason you give until you feel guilty for having needs. I once had a relative who would drop by unannounced, expecting me to drop everything. For years I'd explain why it wasn't a good time. I'm working, I'm tired, I have plans. She'd counter every reason. You can work later. You don't look tired. Your plans can wait. I'm family. I always caved. Then I tried something radical. Next time she showed up unannounced, I simply said, "This doesn't work for me. I'll call you to schedule a visit." No explanation. She was shocked. "Why not?" she demanded. "It just doesn't work for me," I repeated calmly and closed the door. Here's your practice. Set one boundary this week without explaining it. I'm not available. That doesn't work for me. I'm saying no. When they ask why, resist the urge to justify. Simply restate your boundary. Watch how your confidence grows when you stop seeking approval. Silent behavior number 5. You move on without seeking closure. This is the behavior that haunts toxic people most. Your ability to walk away without looking back. They expect you to chase explanations, to demand closure, to need the final word. When you simply move on, you shatter their narrative of control. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Seeking closure from toxic people is anxious dependence. They'll never give you the answer that satisfies. Here's the trap. Closure is a gift you give yourself, not something they provide. Toxic people withhold closure deliberately. They leave conversations unfinished, relationships ambiguous, conflicts unresolved, because it keeps you tethered to them. Your need for answers becomes their leash. The moment you decide you don't need their explanation, their apology, their acknowledgement, you become free. I spent 6 months trying to get closure from a friendship that ended toxically. I wrote letters, requested conversations, sought to understand what went wrong. Every attempt was met with vague responses or silence. I was tormented. Then I realized something profound. I was giving her power by needing her participation in my healing. So I stopped. I wrote myself the closure letter I wanted from her, acknowledged my own truth, and moved forward. Within days, she reached out, suddenly wanting to talk. I politely declined. I'd already moved on. Here's your practice. Identify one situation where you're still seeking closure. This week, write down what you wish you'd heard, then accept that you may never hear it. Give yourself permission to close that chapter without their signature. Your peace doesn't require their participation. Silent behavior number 6. You stay consistent and predictable. This sounds counterintuitive. Shouldn't unpredictability keep toxic people off balance? Actually, no. Your chaos feeds theirs. What truly unsettles manipulators is unwavering consistency. When your mood doesn't swing, your boundaries don't shift, and your standards don't waver, they can't find an opening. Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Toxic people fear those who know exactly who they are and never deviate. Manipulators study patterns to exploit them. They wait for your weak moments, when you're tired, stressed, or vulnerable, to push boundaries you'd normally defend. But when you're consistently grounded, they lose that advantage. There's no good time to manipulate someone who's always centered. Your predictability becomes your armor. I had a family member who would create drama during holidays, knowing I'd be emotionally stretched and more likely to compromise my values to keep the peace. For years it worked. Then I became consistent. Whether it was Christmas, a birthday, or a random Tuesday, my boundaries remained identical. My responses stayed calm and measured. My standards never shifted based on occasion or emotion. At first, she escalated, testing whether my consistency was real. When she realized it was unshakable, the manipulation attempts stopped. She couldn't find the cracks anymore. Here's your practice. Choose one core value or boundary this week. Commit to honoring it regardless of circumstances, whether you're tired, stressed, or being pressured. Don't make exceptions for guilt, obligation, or special occasions. Notice how your consistency forces toxic people to either respect your limits or reveal themselves completely by refusing to. Silent behavior number 7. You succeed quietly without announcing it. Toxic people feed on your public victories and failures equally. They celebrate your losses and disguise their envy of your wins as concern. But when you succeed in silence, you remove their ability to participate in your journey entirely. Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The most powerful moves happen in silence. Growth they never see coming. Here's what they don't tell you. Announcing your goals and achievements to toxic people invites sabotage. They'll subtly discourage you, plant doubt, minimize your progress, create drama that derails your focus. But when you move in silence, building, growing, achieving without their knowledge, you're already 10 steps ahead by the time they notice. And by then, it's too late for them to interfere. I once shared my plan to start a YouTube channel with someone I thought was supportive. Immediately, I got questions designed to discourage. Isn't that market saturated? Do you have time for that? What if you fail? I felt my enthusiasm drain. Months later, I started the channel anyway, but told no one. I built it quietly, consistently, without seeking validation. 6 months in, when it was thriving, word got out. The same person who questioned me suddenly wanted to collaborate. I politely declined. Here's your practice. Choose one goal you're working toward. Don't announce it, don't post about it, don't seek validation for it. Work on it silently, consistently, privately. Let your results speak when the time is right. Notice how much faster you progress when you're not managing other people's opinions, doubts, or jealousy. Silent success is untouchable success. Conclusion. Here's the truth that changes everything. Toxic people don't fear your strength. They fear your indifference. They've built their power on your reactions, your explanations, your need for their approval. The moment you master these 7 behaviors, you become someone they cannot manipulate, cannot control, cannot reach. You transform from a target into a fortress. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This is that revenge, not through aggression, but through complete emotional sovereignty. When you stop reacting, maintain steady presence, become emotionally unavailable, set boundaries without defending them, move on without closure, stay consistent, and succeed quietly, you're not just protecting yourself. You're becoming the version of you they can never diminish. I've watched this transformation in my own life. The people who once drained my energy now avoid me. Not because I became aggressive or confrontational, but because I became unreachable. They sensed something shifted. I was no longer playing the game. And here's what surprised me most. As toxic people fell away, genuine connections appeared. People who respected boundaries, people who celebrated quietly with me, people who didn't need my chaos to feel important. This is your power. You don't have to fight toxic people. You don't have to expose them, convince them, or change them. You simply become someone they cannot affect, and when you do, they'll either respect the new you, or they'll quietly exit your life. Either way, you win.